Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we'll talk about Islamic educational curriculum and specifically focusing on three unique features. Keep in mind that Islamic education is the only education system. Everything else is fake. Here specifically talk about what, why, and how of Islamic education. Number one, Islam makes it mandatory to seek knowledge of the truth. This is the only culture that makes it mandatory on each person. There's a hadith that says seeking knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim and Muslimah, even though Muslim, specifically it means every man and woman who claims to be Muslim, meaning on the path of Islam, must seek knowledge. This is an obligation. Quran confirms it. As a matter of fact, every hadith other than the first hadith of Bukhari, book of Bukhari, comes from a specific question that came from Quran. Quran gave an order, 1736, that do not follow what you have no knowledge of. Meaning you cannot even proceed, you cannot do anything until you have full knowledge. So seeking knowledge is the beginning of doing anything. Every conscious act should be upon knowledge of the truth. Number two, in Islam, all real actions have real intentions behind it. This is the only culture that tells you it's the intention that matters, not the outcome. Outcome is not in your hand. And it's very scientific. In my many books, I focus on this. All you're responsible for is your intention. Now, what is the real intention? Intention to please Allah. We have discussion over it. Any other intention is not real. It's not true intention. So your real intention takes you to the upper path all the way to heaven. Your false intention to please anybody other than Allah, takes you to the artificial path all the way to hell. So every action, every conscious action will take you to heaven or hell depending on the intention. And this is a very unique feature of Islamic education. So this answers to the notion, why do you seek knowledge? What is the purpose? If the purpose is to seek pleasure of Allah, that's true knowledge. Anything else is ignorance. Based on your intention, the whole outlook changes. Facts are always the same. We cannot change facts. You have a happy childhood, you have a sad childhood, you cannot change that fact. You're faced with difficulties, you cannot change that fact. Your income cannot be changed. Your richness cannot be changed. Number of children, husband, wife, whatever, they cannot be changed. What can be changed is your intention, and that changes the outlook. You see everything positive if your intention is good. You see everything is negative if your intention is not good. As simple as that. The intention is also hidden. Nobody else knows. And that's why we're not supposed to challenge the intention of a person. Only Allah knows. As a matter of fact, it's a borderline shirk to question somebody's intention. We're not supposed to get in there. Intention of pleasing Allah is the love as a starting point. Anything else is the hatred. That's the shaitanic one. Anytime you have false intention, you say it's inspired by fear. Fear of anything but Allah. Nobody steals because he's afraid of Allah. Everybody does. Every sin is inspired by fear of world. Anybody other than Allah. So from the starting point to the end point is dictated by your intention. Number 3 feature, question and answer. Very first hadith. Very first hadith. This is obviously a mistake. There is a hadith in book of Abu Dawud, hadith number 336. I apologize for this. This is not, the Arabic part is not correct. The hadith says, the cure for ignorance is to ask question. So this is essential feature of Islam. You seek knowledge by asking question. As a matter of fact, it's so important that you might have heard Abu Huraira recounted the most number of hadiths, and Aisha, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu wife, became angry at him because he was telling hadiths without questions. Aisha is the next one who recounted the second most number of hadiths, but always in response to a question. So in Islamic culture, knowledge, seeking knowledge comes with the question. That question comes from you. We know that in modern culture, lectures are written less than 10%. You know why? Because nobody cares to hear a lecture unless it is inspired by the questions of the audience. In Islam, the whole discussion of education, whole lecture of education is inspired by questions. And that comes from the hadith that says, cure to ignorance is to ask questions. And that's a very unique feature of Islam. So when you hear other cultures talking about it, it's also essentially from Islam, because as you know, Islam did not start with Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. It started with Adam. See, every prophet was a prophet of Islam. So it's so important that the book of Hadith is each individual Hadith. They have book, they have gate, the chapters, but individual Hadiths are called questions. There is no Hadith that's lecture. They are answering specific questions. Yellow Emperor, who was most like a prophet, his classic book of medicine is called Essential Questions. Very similar. Even Socrates, 6 questions of Socrates, they all taught by question and answer. There's a catch to it. The questions have to be real questions. They have to be guiding questions or real questions. I give a simple example. Your son, say his name is Tom. Tom went to visit Sam, and you told him not to visit Sam. So how could it be real question? How could it be misguiding question or dogma question? You tell Tom, where did you go? You know he went to Sam's house. Why are you asking where did he go? You know the answer. You're setting him up. So he most likely lied. How could it be a real question? The Tom, I told you not to go to Sam. Why did you go? That's a real question. And that's a guiding question also. On the other hand, if you ask dogma questions, or Bani Israel question, and we'll elaborate a little more on Bani Israel question. They are not well intended. They are misguiding. Bani Israel is notorious for asking this question. They cause chaos. Intention is not good. Quran actually forbids you. In Surah Baqarah 108, Allah said, will you be asking questions like they asked Musa? It's very annoying. And Allah is saying, whoever trades belief for disbelief has truly strayed from the right way. You are not supposed to be asking Bani Israel questions. If you want, you can read up on the type of question Bani Israel is to ask. But I give a simple summary. Any question that is not intended to please Allah is a Bani Israel question. Here's some down-to-earth example.
The love of your life and an unlimited credit card that you never have to pay back.
There's no limit?
No limit.
Okay.
What would you choose?
What would you pick?
Well, obviously, I'm going to pick you. You're also the love of my life.
You'd pick me?
Yes, I would.
Well, you're an idiot. I would pick a credit card with no limit.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we could spend millions of dollars. You aren't that pretty, baby.
Otherwise, the love of your life.
A credit card with no limit would be way hotter than you.
Well, try spending time with a credit card with no limit whenever you're lonely.
I wouldn't be lonely.
So you're going to spend your credit card to find new people to be around? Probably women?
I'd be a billionaire. I could buy whatever I wanted.
Another one. Well, this one does not have the extra, but the bottom line of this question is, she's asking, am I ugly? Why are you asking this question? What is the assumption behind, am I ugly?
I want you to be serious. I don't want you to joke with me. I want you to give me an honest answer, okay?
Okay.
Do you think I'm crazy?
Yes.
Ha ha ha. Now that we've gotten the joke out of the way, I am being serious. I need your help with this. I just want to know, do you think I'm crazy?
Yes.
I should have known that you weren't going to be serious about this. I tried to ask you an important question, and you just want to, give me silly answers.
I'm being serious. Wait. Okay, listen. What kind of crazy are we talking about? Like crazy, like you're like in a different world?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes? You think I'm losing grasp on reality?
Honey, you are crazy.
I am.
And I love crazy.
You think I'm just a mild crazy. You make me seem like I'm an absolute monster of crazy.
You are an absolute psycho.
Among adults, of course, those were examples from more like a cartoon, but in real life, how often you have heard this? Did you marry me for my money? A husband saying to the wife. What possibly could be a correct answer? Why? Does it make it closer to Allah? What is the purpose? Another one. Did you marry me for my external beauty? Wife telling the husband. What do you want to hear? Why do you bother asking these questions? Another one. Will you abandon me if something goes wrong? Completely hypothetical. Nothing changes. You cannot affect whatever was going to happen. What if the plane crashes? What if the whole world disappears? So what? You do not have an action item. Do not ask Bani Israel questions. It does not increase your knowledge. It increases your ignorance. It increases your kufr, your ability to think to please Allah. Always ask why. Why are you asking a question? Is it to please Allah? If it's not, do not say anything. As 1736 says, you do not have knowledge, so do not ask. Do not bother. This is a very good one. Hopefully.
Connected to your why. A solid Muslim. You think you're lazy? Nah, you're just not connected to your why. A solid Muslim doesn't just push himself to work. He knows why he works. So when you wake up with no purpose, of course you'll scroll for hours. But when you wake up remembering this life is a test and Jannah is the prize, your day becomes worship. Even brushing your teeth becomes rewardable. Working out, it's sunnah. Providing for your family, it's reward. Studying, it's ibadah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَقُلِ اعْمَلُوا فَسَيَرَ اللَّهُ عَمَلَكُمْ. Say, do righteous work, and Allah will see your work. So you're not lazy. You just haven't linked your actions to Allah yet. Fix the intention, and your discipline will follow. Be a solid Muslim, aligned, focused, and reward driven.
That sums up this presentation. So number one, it's an obligation in Islam to seek knowledge, number one. Number two, intention trumps everything. You are evaluated by your intention, not the outcome. Very unique feature of Islam. Number three, everything is through question and answer. What type of question? Question to please Allah. And that's it. Assalamu alaikum.